Hey guys, it's Sabrina again, and I decided it was a good time to do another talk. Um, I've been thinking about a lot of things, obviously, and um, ultimately, the thing I've been thinking about lately is for some reason, I don't feel that there is a block anymore on sharing exactly who I am and what my thoughts are. Because, quite frankly, there's a lot of people in this world that are sharing who they are, and they're bringing to the world a vibration or an aspect that's not beneficial to us all. And if I know anything about myself, I know that these talks are full of purity and goodwill, and they have a very strong intention attached to them. And intention is certainly one of the things I want to talk about today, among other things. But primarily, this thought of I don't need to have anyone's permission to expand. I don't need to have anyone's permission to put this talk on YouTube. I don't need to have anyone's permission to be who I am. And I feel like our culture has certainly devised a way of keeping us all in this belief that we need someone's permission, or that the change I want to see in the world isn't possible. I have to adhere to what is. But quite frankly, someone's cooking up reality. Someone's cooking up from their mind to the outer. Someone's intending something with our outer world. And it's time for us, with strong, pure intentions, who are just good people that have love to share and ideas to share, to start sharing those ideas, and to start wherever we are in our individual lives or in individual communities, to be light, to shine light. It's time right now. And it's an exciting thing, and I'm just fucking glad to be a part of it. So that's definitely something I wanted to emphasize. You don't have to run it by anyone to be who you are and do what you want to do, okay? And this word elections is obviously like a powerful thing in America and the world and politics and blah, blah, blah. And when I think of the word elections, I think of my personal elections, the things I personally elect to do every single day. And we put a whole lot of emphasis on our presidential elections, and people have pretty strong feelings about the American government. Some people have faith in it, some people don't. I personally don't. I feel it's bought and sold. I feel that it lacks integrity, and it is not in the interest of the people, and it's not in the interest of a healthy, balanced environment. But that's not what I'm really referring to. What I'm referring to is what we elect to do, what we use our free will to do, the choices we make in our lives. That's where the emphasis should be. It should be, what am I going to put in my body today? What am I going to do with my time? Am I going to walk to that errand, or am I going to drive to that errand? Am I going to do that errand at all? Am I going to make my bed? Am I going to, have great hygiene and do my dishes? Am I going to elect to say hi to my neighbor or pretend like I don't see them when we're both outside together? Am I going to anything? Look at those elections, because it's not just every 4 years or whatever. There's a constant electing to do something going on in our lives. So I just wanted to throw that thought out there. And I'm just going to kind of skip around and hit on different things that have crossed my mind. I wanted to talk about the fact that we're pulsing or radiating light. We are constantly sending a signal to this world. We are constantly energetically pulsing a signal. And that's something that can be nonverbal, but it's happening every moment. And there is a lot of potential with that, because sometimes the pulse or the light radiance is muffled by thought, negative thinking. Because the thing to remember is that light is always shining, but we're just kind of throwing a blanket over it. And the idea is to clear the blanket off. That whatever once was a pattern, it just doesn't need to be there anymore. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this stuff, because so much of all of this has traditionally been like, you have to work at this shit, you have to throw it over in your head, all this shit that's happened to you in your life, you have to mull it over and figure it out and ease it out and talk it out, and it gets into this over-analyzing shit where it just keeps you in that energy. And I don't know what's going on, but for whatever reason right now, it just feels like you could just pull that blanket right off and just leave it somewhere. I mean, the energy that's available to us right now, it's like we are being surged with energy, and you really just have to like go with it. You have to ride it out. You don't put the brakes on this. Trust it, because there's so much energy coming in right now that our only job is to pray and have intention. And prayer and intention are kind of like the same thing. When you're praying, you are, I don't know, I mean, I'm not going to tell you how you pray or what you pray about, but essentially it's a call for grace. It's a call for benevolence. It's a call for peace. It's a call for guidance. It's a call for cutting to the chase, what really matters. It's a feeling. It's a knowing. It's a invoking of the Om. It's the big mind. It's a high vibration. It's a vast vibration. It's sturdy and extravagant. And if you have the highest outcome for all in mind when you do pray, then it just feels great, you know? So I might skip around a bit, because remember, this is all just coming out. And I'm sharing it with you because I love you, and I love me, and I love what we could do here. And intention is a huge thing. It's essentially what a lot of shamans do. It's like you have to create a lens for the light to shine through. It's like coding, or you're coding this lens, and the infinite light shines through that lens. The infinite light is shining at all times, but you're focusing in energy. And you're focusing, the light is all pouring through this lens, and that lens becomes reality because the light is shown through that lens. And so you're essentially a craftsman for energy. You are an artisan of energy. And you're etching out. It's like you're calling forth certain energies as you're coding. So you can't be in a state of disequilibrium and be like, I want peace in this intention. Ah! You literally are tuning to the vibration of peace and coding the lens. And so it is, right? So, for instance, when I was writing down some things that I would like you guys to feel when you listen to this. And I mean, I'm sharing those things because I think it's a useful tool for us to learn what intention is. So when I go into these talks, I really don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I really know that whatever comes out of my mouth, it will be tuned. It will be vibrating at a frequency of, these are the things that I intend for: light, that you guys feel light, inspired, powerful, uplifted, radiant, ready, included, giggly, wise, healed, capable, touched, resonance, grateful, new, healthy, creative, soul conscious, and to understand galactic citizenship, which, I mean, to get into like the entities of the galaxy or the politics of the galaxy, is less what I'm emphasizing here. More of what I'm emphasizing with galactic citizenship is to expand our idea of what our home is. A lot of times, we have a hard time even looking at it as Earth, but we look at it as our house or whatever. But we are actually citizens of not only a galaxy, but of a universe. And a lot of times the climate, not necessarily a weather climate, but like the climate politically or socially or culturally of a planet, can seem to be like limiting in some way. But the beauty of understanding the universe is then you start to get more of an idea about what pure potential is, and free will and freedom to express literally anything in this free will universe on this planet. Because there's this, going back to you don't have to run it by anyone to expand. With these certain energies on our planet that could feel like really tall walls. They could feel like, do not pass go, or, you might think that that'd be great to live that way, but you're just not going to be able to do it because I'm not going to let you. So those things seem bigger and more powerful when we just think about life in terms of Earth. Another thing I wanted to bring up is platonic solids. And I don't know all the names of everything, but there are these, I just encourage you to look up platonic solids, because there are these like three-dimensional shapes that it's kind of a metaphor for lifting your consciousness, because a square like becomes like a cube and a triangle becomes a pyramid, and then there's more complex shapes that, like 8-sided shapes and stuff like that I don't really know the name of. But the point is a lot of times things just look really two-dimensional in our lives, and really there's so much more dimension to explore. And it's kind of like our immediate reaction to things, the two-dimensional, the pattern that we have. It's so immediate to us sometimes. But if we just lift a little higher and see that there's more dimension, we can make different choices. And I guess what I'm saying is it requires just a little more patience and a little more insight to find energetic codes, meanings. It's a subtler way of being, and it's a rewarding way of being. Because when you start to have this interplay with reality, when you start to have that personal interplay with it, it's so interesting. And it's this, again, this like really playful thing to do with yourself. Because it's constantly being offered to you. It's so much more intelligent than we give it credit for. And it wants to communicate with you. And it is constantly communicating with you. But all of these things require your free will and your agreement to interact with the universe this way, and with reality this way, and with benevolent beings, entities, in this way. It is an intelligent universe. It's a conscious universe. And when we have this sort of elevated interaction with it, it's more interesting, it gives you energy, and it makes you a more creative citizen. And it makes you more willing to follow this spontaneous journey and trust it. So, one more idea I want to pass through here, and it's this idea I'm calling resetting. And resetting is something that it's just a word for getting present with yourself again. Because in this process, because like I said, caught between two worlds, we're very much in this world of like the thinking mind, the psychological neuroses, the karma, and then we're also in this place of like pure being. I kind of talked about pure being in the last talk. And pure being is available to us all at all times. And the mind sneaks in with its as the saboteur and wants to discourage us. And when that happens, we just need to reset. Somebody comes into your field and they're bringing a lot of like craziness, and we find that we're getting pulled into their field and their tempo and their radiating, pulsing vibrations. Reset. Reset back to your ground, back to who you are, back to your chosen vibration. Remember, this is all choosing. And I will say, I mean, people talk about meditation. It's a real thing. And it's a real thing because you are literally creating an energy signature. Peace is not a word. I mean, it is a word. Peace is a vibration. Joy is a vibration. You have to cultivate these things. You have to have them in your repertoire of vibration. You have to spend time with these and notice when you're having them. Notice when you're feeling joy. Notice when you're feeling peace. Create a memory, like create a, not a memory, but take note. Like it's like program it into your being so that when you need to call it forth, it's right there. It's right there. I have tremendous faith in us. I have tremendous faith in what's happening right now. Even though, I mean, I can't really see 5 feet in front of me sometimes. But what I'm getting at is I'm just trusting this. I'm trusting. And I'm listening. And I'm being the conduit. And I'm setting intentions. And I'm focusing my energy. And I'm spending time with God. I'm spending time with God. The universe. Whatever you want to call it. Spend time there. Have a conversation with it. Let it seep into every little nook and cranny of your being. And create. Okay, guys? I don't know that there's anything else I have to say right now. Other than I'm just stoked that I'm like allowing myself to do this. And be vulnerable and be powerful and get this information out there, because this information needs to be out there from you, from me, from people that care and love and have like a strong vision for this world, a strong knowing, you know? It's transforming. Because, I mean, can't you feel how much you're transforming? My goodness. It's just like, with as fast as we're transforming right now, it's like, take some breaths, you know? Rest when you need to rest. Drink water. Change. Rise to the occasion. But not in a way where you're putting pressure on yourself. Just ride it. Okay? Okay, this is bye for now. I love you guys, and we'll talk soon. It's Sabrina Bernasconi. Later.